such an asshole.
Hello, children. Cappy on the alternative channel. May we boost the subscriber numbers up here over at Older Brother YouTube channel. You can also check out olderbrother.com. And I got to be quick. Dear asshole, avid viewer, first-time requester. I can't speak for anyone else, but for myself, it takes time to exit corporate America as a 1099er or with FU money. During this time, it is important to blend in as an NPC to both buy time and gain promotions, read additional income and options. I would like a video explaining in detail what you think, in detail what you think is sufficient, the key components. I'm reading how it's written, guys. In detail, you think is sufficient the key components of blending as an NPC without truly becoming one. Sadly, the spirit of this can be seen in the Netflix show Uncover How You Operate Behind Enemy Lines. May I also suggest you perform the video in your former NPC wardrobe, assuming you have tossed it. I have a suit here, but it's my going out suit. I just didn't have time for it. And plus, I'm kind of late in getting to you here. Please let me know the price, blah, blah, blah. P.S. I really hope you write a book on the same subject. My apologies if you already have. No, Frank Cervi has called Corporate Land. So if you want a book that's already written, and it's exactly that topic, how to survive in corporate, it's called Corporate Land. Frank Cervi, spelled Cervii. And one of those books maybe I'd enjoy reading. So I said, Mercy, it's going to be a bit, You know what? I'll refund you a little bit. Or maybe, how about email me if you got another request or something, and I'll do it like 10% or $10 off. Hi, you stingy bastard. That should work. There's no time constraint on this, so please feel free to wrap up your taxes first. Make the payment after sending email. Additional personal notes below. What I have seen in my time from corporate, but it's not in any way intended to be a script, nor should it include any item to disagree with, or you could trump with a better idea. I'm simply putting them. No, that's fine. That's fine. I have my own thoughts. We're going to cite from the book here some things. So, and I'm going to revisit your question in detail later. All right. Time. You will, of course, need to finish your assigned work, but always sandbag the time it will take. Learn from Scotty on Star Trek. Also, never ask for more work until you are sure it will get you attention and credit from the higher-ups, or will add a valuable bullet point to your resume. That's an important one. Yeah. I've seen you probably in corporate world more than I was. I was always running concurrent businesses on the side, which inevitably took off on their own. So I didn't have to, I just left. I was never a good corporate man. But that is certainly true. Otherwise, asking for more work will just result in busy work no one really cares about. Socializing with the higher ups when they are in the mood is valuable, but always keep in mind these people are not your friends. None of them. Yeah, they're not. Let's go out for the company Christmas dinner. Oh, fuck that. But you show up. You show, okay. Oh, yeah, that's nice to meet your wife. Yeah. I want to kill him too. Yeah. They are more like a pet scorpion. Set firm personal boundaries regarding topics of discussion. Never discuss violence or sex in any degree. I would even say, add to this, like, you should probably be recording every conversation you have. Like, you should just have a webcam there. It's just constantly recorded. There's security stuff. You just buy a thing with a hard drive. You're just recording. It's not bad to have. If this results in you spending a lot of meaningless time staring at the same spreadsheet, looking busy at it, so be it. Stay 10% longer than your peers. That's a good one. You may avoid some traffic, and when it comes time for promotions, it's an easy metric for them to measure everyone by. Actually, usefulness and productivity are too subjective. Correct. Team spirit. Even though you learn nothing, you contribute nothing to the world. Oh, I hated this stuff. You want to go in the parade? No, I don't want to go in your parade. Your bank sucks, and you don't do a service to this damn community. There we are. And value of your salary, contribute nothing to the world, and the value of your salary for the day donated would far outweigh the contribution of building bicycles for needy kids at which you have no skill. Participate in their required charity events and look very happy to be there. They want their photo op, so that is your job for the day. You are not in business. You're in a cult. Act accordingly. I'll just add here as we go along. It is not performance that is rewarded. It is conformance. Cannot explain that enough. Cannot emphasize that enough. You're not, because I would go in, and here's another thing. It doesn't make sense if you're younger, and even to me nowadays. If you're a young go-getter and you want to show them that you're worth it, there's only so much room at the top. And now you're starting to like buck for promotion, and you're scaring the piss off these talentless, worthless boomer hacks, now Gen X hacks, who they got their fiefdom. They work their 30 hours a week. They kind of mail it in. It's very easy. And you're upsetting that. I didn't believe him. Like, why would this old guy who's got gray hair and 20 years experience more than me be afraid of me? Why wouldn't he want me to be on his team? Because if you start doing all the work and it shows, his boss is going to say, why are we paying you this? You're fired, Jim. Hey, Aaron, get in there and take over Jim's spot. Like, okay, sir. But then he'd have to worry about like, whoa, if Aaron could outdo Jim 300% efficiency, he might make vice president. That'd be my job. So it is, again, get the book Curse of the High IQ. There you go. Smart people can't understand. Like, why would you not want a hard worker? It's like, oh, you're thinking like a smart person. Stop thinking like a smart person. Think like a middle-aged boomer fuck who's lazy. Like, oh, I see. I get it. You're a fat, lazy boomer fuck. I get it now. Oh. So yes, this conformance stuff is better than performance. You be the good boy. I wouldn't even say 10%, 5%. Just a little bit longer, a little bit. Make sure you get in before everyone. Make sure you leave after everyone. And you know what? You might as well, because you're avoiding traffic. They want their photo op, so that is your job for the day. You are not a business. You're in a cult. Act accordingly. Good parallel. Time off. Take vacation frequently on Mondays, claiming you like the 3-day weekend. Use that time to practice skills you can sell later as a 1099er or for interviews where you have to fly somewhere. Let's stop right here with interviews. You want fuck you money? You want to get promoted? You want pay raises? Get another job. You get another job offer. We've gone over that many times. That's 101. You will not get promoted. The mailroom to boardroom doesn't happen anymore. You go work for company X. You want 25% raise? You apply for company Y. You always have a recruiter under your employee looking out for you. We say very clearly, this much money or more, nothing below, and work from home. Or what are the other fringe benefits you want? But you are always in the market for other jobs. Just like women, you're spinning plates. Jobs, you're spinning plates. To fly somewhere. This gives you some part of the weekend to acclimate and prepare. When they ask about your trips, just say you flew back to see family. That should cut the conversation short. Dress. Do not try to personalize or style or get creative. The idea that you just have to dress within the dress code is BS. Look at your boss or your boss's boss and treat that like it is your uniform, even if it means buying clothes specifically for your work. I personally refuse to wear plaid flannels, but that's what my executive was into. If you happen to be a girl, keep the neckline of your collarbones at your collarbones or above. Cut down the makeup and don't wear anything tight. Frumpy is good if you are not in sales. You may think that some of the male leadership secretly enjoy your sex appeal, but they probably find it distracting, and female leadership will absolutely hate you for your beauty, your youth and beauty. They will make you pay. That depends, like if your boss is male or female. I'm not against a woman just looking beautiful or pretty. Of course, I prefer to have the sexy little pencil skirt on. I'm like, yeah, I could do that secretary, corporate executive action, but that's just me, and I never made it that much in corporate America. I guess I did. I guess, yeah, maybe I was a vice president in that. Of a really shitty bank. I wouldn't dress frumpy either. I mean, here's just something. Just be pretty. Don't be hot. Just dress feminine. Giving women career advice on fashion would probably be the last of my domain. Meetings, figure out who is most important in the room. After they share their idea, wait about 5 minutes, then speak up with whatever followed by, I'm just saying we should, essentially repeating whatever it is the important person said. Yes, these are all good, man. It is stupid, but the most powerful people are also the most insecure. In their minds, this will convince them that you get it, even if it is stupid and or wasteful. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Social, I repeat, these people are not your friends. Try not to drink with them if you can, as you may slip up your game. Never consider asking a female coworker out, and if possible, try not to talk to them. Diversity is BS, and it can easily get you in trouble if there is a slightly attractive female around after you have been locked up for 9 hours a day most of the week. Talk. Never speak ill of anyone or anything, even if it is agreeing with and adding to someone who is just trash talking. They will turn around and stab you in the back saying XYZ said blah, blah, blah. directly to the wrong person to conveniently leave out all the shit talking they were doing and built up that situation. Here's another thing. Let's add it while we're here. Have an indispensable skill. I mean, a lot of this you avoid if you're like the IT guy, or you're the heart surgeon, or you're the full stack developer, or you're the expert in databases. You're the nurse or the specialist nurse or nurse practitioner. I know a lot of you are all in business, and you're going to have to start with everyone works at a corporation and all that, but it really helps it go away where it's like, I'm doing what now? I'm playing these political games? I'm sorry, I'm a fucking brain surgeon. Now shut the fuck up. I got 20 other hospitals that want me. You want me to go to a parade, huh? That's real fucking cute. How about I say alive instead? That's what I thought. So that's more of a before you enter the market, before you take a job kind of thing. Narrative. Never violate their narrative no matter what. Always remember it is a cult. It is. And here's another thing to... These are great observations. These people have nothing else in their lives for the most part, too. Like, this is their life. This is their pride and joy. It's not their wife or the husband back at home. It's not their kids. They don't even like those people. They just had them because that was on a checklist. This is how most people value themselves. And if you go in and say no, oh my God, like, you don't want to be empirical like me. Well, the data says we should. You're not. The number of times I'm not a team player. Holy shit. I'm like, yeah, because instead of rowing on this rowing team, you guys are taking drills and drilling holes into the boat. How about we stop doing that? And it was. I mean, it was literally metaphorical to what banking was doing. They're like, get a drill, Clary. I'm like, okay. And if I had just grabbed a drill and drilled holes into the boat, I would have had, hundreds of thousands of dollars more. I'm like, shouldn't we be rowing? Your disrespect for leadership. Oh, shut up, you fat boomer fuck. Who's dead now? Miserable life, by the way, he had. And he had an ugly wife, too. I remember meeting her. I'm like, oh, I win. It is a cult. If they claim that men and women are basically inherently identical as part of their narrative, do not try to correct them with facts. Oh God, no. You are sucking that diversity team woman dick, man. Yeah. I mean, you go up and you show up. You will think you may impress someone with your data-driven decisions. Oh, like the guy at Google? Yeah, that worked out well for him, didn't it? Which is also part of their narrative, but you are likely just to get James demurred. Maybe that's the guy by highlighting the lack of congruence in the stable. Your opinions leave at the door. Another thing, if you go to work in corporate America, don't have social media. Don't have political opinions. You have nothing on the internet. Savings. Never mention that you save money and invest. They want you to throw away your money, prefer you to be in debt so they can control you. Yes, that is true. Regardless of your situation, claim you're still making car, student loan, and housing payments. Always remember that relative to the dollars involved, people feel that someone who spends 30% less than themselves is cheap, and someone who spends 30% more is wasteful. I had a boss get upset with me because I brought frozen blueberries, which I could eat at any time, instead of buying the freshest blueberries that I would have spoiled before I finish them. See, and those bosses, here's another thing you can do. Well, a lot of this you could do early on. Like, you micromanage me, I'm gone. Like, you could set boundaries early on during the interview and just skip. It is like dating a girl. Like, you need to pass on. If I had a boss like that, and I did have bosses like that, like, why are you getting frozen blueberries? Why are you asking me about frozen blueberries? Holy shit, do you need to, get out of the human gene pool? What, are you going to beat your kids up and maybe throw people in ovens if we give you a little bit of power? You got to screen those guys out real quick. And that's where, what is it? There's a Glassdoor reviews and there's rate my boss or something like that. Rate your boss, get them out there, get these guys exposed. But man, screen up front so you don't even have to go into that situation. Improvements. Be careful about fixing problems. Talk it over with your boss to get feedback before making large improvements, especially if they are a moron, will just add unnecessary complications so that they can claim to some degree for credit for your wins. I never understood this. Look, everyone wants to get credit for work they didn't do. This is a real thing in corporate America. And so you have to play these low IQ, low level mind games to like play this game. So they could claim some degree of credits for your wins. My biggest fixes have also been the thing I received the most complaints about doing. You never help anyone. Never. Finding problems. Be careful about identifying issues, even if they are outside of your team. Everyone is trying to pretend things are perfect and no one's going to appreciate the bad news. I once had a senior leader claim, if you see a problem, you kind of have a responsibility to work to fix it. If it isn't your area, you don't not have the responsibility to fix it, but saying you do is a great way to stop hearing about existing problems. Jokes. Save humor for home. I once knew a guy who pretty clearly missed being promoted because he felt it was okay to comment on his boss's cowlicked hair, calling it fluffy. These are not your friends. He also wore a full costume on Halloween, which made him seem not serious enough. When they say they want you to love your job, know that what they really mean is they just want you to seem focused on it and never leave. Politics in general, leave your opinions at home, no matter how strongly you feel and how much you can prove it. If you could figure out which way the company is leaning, congratulations, that is your new official candidate, but do not support any belief too strongly, as you may have to back out of it quickly if the wind changes. Future goals. He's very thorough here. I'm not going to have much to say, buddy. Future goals. Your spoken future goals are always with this company. That's my buddy calling. Your spoken future goals are always with this company. Please, because you love your job, right? You would never consider going 1099 or planning on retiring early. I would also say when you create your 1099, you do it under an anonymous 1099. You can file it in Wyoming or New Mexico, and you pay a registered agent to do all that work. You would never mention going 1099 or planning on retiring early. Boss talk. A significant part of your job is making your boss feel more important and more like a boss. It only gets worse as the ladder goes up. Remember, the most powerful are most emotionally insecure. Yes, they were the biggest conformers, not performers. Shareholders. Boy, you must work for a big corporation. You may think that anything you do to help the shareholders. Oh, no. Your boss is not the shareholders. It's your boss. Must be good for you as it trickles down the company. This is BS. The shareholders do not set your bonus or approve your checks. It's if what is good for you, your boss, or your team is bad for the company, that support what is good for you, your boss, and your team. Find a way to justify no matter how obscure or irrational. Interests. You now like whatever your boss likes and possibly what the average team member likes. Do not stand out by being one person interested in soccer. No one cares about your interests. They need to believe you are part of the team. Laptop. It is now watching you. Never assume it isn't. Not even if you have already done scandalous stuff on it and were not reprimanded. They want to give you more than enough rope so you can hang yourself with it when the timing suits them. Just because you're aboard is no reason to look up anything not directly work related in a laptop they own. I got around this by just doing research on economics because I loved economics. And later on, I'd write a blog post about it or use data or charts or whatever. Just because you're aboard is no reason to look up anything not directly work related on the laptop they own. Give yourself a mouse jiggler so that it is always shows as active. Also, never bring any personal documents or materials in the office. You may not get a chance to go back to your office cubes if they called HR and they use anything against you. Assume you're under constant visual surveillance from the moment you pull into their parking lot. I'd love it if you're working remotely and they say, we got to come to your house and grab our laptop. You're sitting there with a gun. I'm like, I'd love to see you come here and try it. And you wouldn't do that. Maybe you would. Assume you're under constant visual surveillance the moment you pull into their parking lot. I have personally seen companies set up spy cameras around the office to catch whoever is stealing quarters from desks. Team treats. If they bring in food, never consider taking the leftovers home, even if it has been sitting there for hours. This goes back to the issue of savings and appearing cheap. I once knew a guy who got fired for taking home the leftover pizza no one wanted. Yeah. This is harkening back to the days where I used to have to work for a living. There were asshole bosses like that. We noticed you didn't smile when you came into the office. Hey, you're not going to have any teeth to smile here pretty soon, buddy. While the pizza wasn't his only issue, it did not certainly help his case. Emails. Never get in an email argument or send jokes. All they have to do is forward to HR. If you slip up and hit reply all, that may be your demise. It is better to send as few as possible. Send some at off hours. Pathetic, yes, but they may notice. Don't send any at all. By now, you should be seeing how shit corporate life is and how important it is to build up FU money and 1099er skills. That's the first thing right there, is just have an indispensable job. In a very real way, you are like a slave, but the more brutal aspects of life as a slave has been replaced with the threat of never being able to find a good job again because of resume gaps or illegal negative comments made by former managers if a new company does a thorough background check, or by not having health insurance, not being able to afford a hot wife, girlfriend, resulting in divorce and never getting laid again. I mean, you really figure out where all the dominoes consequently fall here. You want to absolutely minimize the amount of time required in corporate America to get FU or 1099. Maybe you won the lottery and you happen to actually enjoy your boss and your job. Both may change and turn on a dime. Get out, or at least be ready to get out. All right. So what would I add to this very thorough list you've given here? One, it goes along with the general theme that this young man has put in. Whatever they want you to do, it doesn't matter. Okay. I was going to read through this excerpt, which I've read before many times, $65,000 a year to file and scam documents. And it took me until I was like 31, 32 to finally realize it doesn't matter what you do. It's just do what you're told. Because I've never had any boss be honest about the job duties. And I've usually got my work done way sooner than it would take 8 hours a day to do. And so I didn't never have to figure out something to do. And if they want you to file in facts, go ahead and file in facts. And the point I make in the Millennial book is like, look, man, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what your education is. If you have a doctorate in engineering and they have you file and they're paying you $150 an hour, you shouldn't, don't worry about it. You know why? Because you're getting paid $150 an hour. Now, of course, you want to make sure your skills don't atrophy, but it's a simple transaction. They pay you a certain amount of money for a certain hour of your time, and you're never getting that hour back. And it doesn't matter what you do in that hour, as long as that's not like cleaning toilets, something like, stinky or bad or dangerous. If you're filing or faxing or you're actually doing real work, who cares? You're making your money because you're not getting that time back. And you could fight it or you could just shut up and do it. 2, I'll mention it again, even though I mentioned it before. You should always be looking for another job. And you should always be, having another, like, oh, okay, this comes in. I'm not saying like you go work for a month and then you get another job and you leave it for a 10% pay raise. I'm not saying do that. But the way you get ahead, work 2 years at a place, start finding hey, you work a year and a half at a place, send your resume, start looking. All right. Always keep a toe in the labor market water. Who knows? You might get a job offer twice of what you make. So there's that too. I don't care if it's unethical. About the only line I would draw, being older now and looking back, I don't care if it's unethical now, I would have done it. I would have signed off on all those damn loans. Cappy would have made a lot more money. And you know what? The housing market would have crashed just the same because they ended up lending the money anyway. Right? Do not do on illegal behavior. Like, for example, they want me to like, can't you make these numbers look better? No, that would be fraud. And probably a violation of a ton of federal regulations, and I'd be looking at jail time. No, I won't do that. But just, who cares? We're replacing the plastic with styrofoam, so the product doesn't work as well. Who cares? Fine, I sign. Oh, yeah, great idea. You just go along. I mean, you really and it is an NPC. It is the Borg. You don't make the decision. Here's another thing. And you got to understand this from the management or leader's perspective. They don't have time to be explaining things to you. They have a goal. They have a plan. They got a process. And they need everyone to do what they say when they say to do it. And the more you ask, or the more you may have a better way to do it, they can't understand that. And they've already settled on their course of action. Right? We're going to do it this way. And you do it. But not only do it, but the Masons have this saying, you do it with joyful exuberance. Maybe not joyful exuberance, but you do it willingly and happily. You don't question. Kind of like when your wife, you say, hey, can you go do that? Well, what did just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. Don't fucking ask me why. Swear to Christ, I'm going to come over there. Right? I sound like Robert De Niro. I'll bury a telephone in your head. Although that was Dennis Farina in Midnight Run. Great movie. But you don't ask why. You don't make recommendations. The recommendation box, you don't make recommendations. The recommendation box. I would say have a camera or recording device no matter where you go, on your lapel, something. But a lot of this, and he did a pretty thorough job. A lot of it, guys, it's stuff up front, choosing the right job, choosing the right profession, refusing promotion, choosing the right division. That's going to save you most of your time there. But let's take a look. Scroll back down. Can't speak by myself. During this time, important to blend as an NPC. Sadly, spirit can be seen now. May I also suggest you perform video. Whatever you have around, get the point across. I would like a video explaining in detail you think is efficient the key components of blending in as an NPC without truly becoming one. Here's another thing I would do, and it's just to cover your... Always carry a notepad around with you, not your phone. And always write down exactly what your boss says and want you to do. And then confirm. I did this at my last place, and it saved my ass several times. You saying you want me to do this, and be very clear. Even if you got to sit another 2-3 minutes with them. Okay, you want me to do it this way. All right. I just want to make very clear that this is the way you want me to do it. And then you write that down, and then if you ever have a, like, isn't this what you told me to do? Well, yeah, but I say, okay, well, I did it the exact way. Did I not? And you're like, well, I know. Yeah, you're right. I got it. You always have that notepad and always have it written down. You carry it wherever you're meeting, don't be a dick. Are you saying what you think I'm saying? Okay. I just want to make it. Then you look like an interrogative, but especially with your boss, when they give you orders, say, all right, just want to make sure. And I always had that. And I did everything to the letter. I followed everything. Still would get in trouble. Well, Frank's a good guy. And he's just down on his luck. I'm like, he's always been down on his luck. That's why he lives in a trailer. Not a double wide like you rich Wyomingans do. He lives in a half trailer. Single wide. All right. Yeah, I can't. Let's summarize this way. You're their bitch. Okay. And you could play all these games and all that and try to remember all these rules, but basically don't rock the boat. Do exactly what you said. Don't question why. Don't overperform. Don't underperform. Don't fuck around. Don't ask the girls out. Don't ask the guys out. Don't make jokes. You're there to work, to make your money. And then you go and do not participate in extracurricular activities. There's no team that goes to the local bar at the Regal Beagle for happy hour. Only some old timers going to get that one. And then if you want to progress through your career, it is not through your current employer. It's by going somewhere else. Just like women. The current girl you got, you are not going to impress her anymore. You got to go get another one. That might get you a better girl or prompt your current girl to do better. But you cannot bluff. Do not bluff. Major in the right thing. Make sure you don't have to deal with this slop. But otherwise, do exactly as they say. Oh, and here's another thing. Have at least 3 to 6 months salary. I know these aren't strategies how to blend as an NPC. It's just to have at least 3 to 6 months living expenses. So if they are absolutely atrocious and they lie, like you can walk away on the first week. Say, nope, I'm done. I'm out of here. Nope. That's it. All right. Let's take a look if there's any super chats here. Mexi Mike, $2. I said the loud part quiet and the quiet part loud. He has little Mexican poops there as well. The goddamn bacon 223. Short answer. Grayman tactics. Shut your trap foo. Yeah. Don't talk. Meetings, 95% of it has nothing to do with you anyways. You just sit there and you be quiet. No reason to speak up. Busako man, our Spaniard agent. Oh, no, you're Portuguese, right? Portugal? 1.09 euro with a super sticker there. I don't know what it is because I can't see it. Pow, right in the kisser. Pow, right in the kisser. That's good. And I think that's it. I catch up on everything. Cool. All right. Questions, answers, AstroConsultant.com. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.